the impact of the hemorrhagic disease so far is we have had reports of several cases in Patrick and Henry County. I think as many as 12 at least from Patrick and Henry area. We really won't know the full extent until after the season of this disease is completed, which would be in late October. So what we're asking is if people that are finding deer, sick deer, dead deer near water bodies, which could be lakes, streams, ponds, that sort of thing, cool areas near water, is where these deer would go. And if we can kind of get an estimate of how many are dying and the location, that would be very helpful for us to make that assessment of what the impacts will be.
Dan, talk about this disease for a minute. I mean, what does it do to a deer, and how do the deer catch the disease?
Well, to start with, the deer contracts this disease when it's bitten by a female midge. That's a M-I-D-G-E, a biting fly. These midges are infected with this virus, and then it is spread to the deer from that bite. Once the deer contains this disease, then it affects them like they would have the flu. They get a real high temperature, and in cases where it's very virulent, it would lead to death pretty quickly within a couple of days. Sometimes they can survive it if they're real healthy, and later on then during the hunting season, they show up as their hooves have sloughed off and have been replaced, like replacing a fingernail. That's an evidence that they had it and survived it.
Well, let's talk about this. This is something that this is not the first year this has occurred. Historically, there has been a pattern for this late summer development of this disease?
That's correct. The hemorrhagic disease is, say, endemic in the deer population. That means it could concur at any year, and generally it starts in late summer and progresses through October. But again, it's been occurring for many years here in Virginia.
Dan, tell me a little bit about the anticipated deer harvest this year. Is the herd that is mainly east of the Blue Ridge looking pretty good so far?
Yes, we have expected a very good deer population. We've had a good number of fawns being produced in the Henry Patrick County area. We've had moderate deer populations in some areas that may be fairly high, and would expect prior to this disease fairly good harvest to this coming fall. The impacts of this disease could take a number of deer out that would be normally available to hunters, and again, we just really won't know until after October what impacts we would have from this disease.